So we are now joined all the way in Birmingham with Dylan Schneider. How are you, Dylan?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to be here. It's my first time in Birmingham, so I think it's going to be an awesome show, and I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us.
And how's the tour been going so far? And what's it been like on the road with Kane Brown?
Dude, it's been awesome. So me and Kane are good buddies. We made a lot of good memories. Got to do a lot of fun stuff. All the crowds have been amazing. They've been getting bigger and bigger every night, and yeah, like I had a lot of firsts. Like I was telling you before, like first time in Scotland, first time here in Birmingham, first time in Cologne, Germany. So just been getting around and seeing all these new places and meeting new people. It's been really really fun.
Absolutely. And I believe like you're becoming a household name in the UK. You came last year for C2C.
Yep,
How was that experience for you?
that was great. That was my second time in the UK. I came back in like 2018, and I did a festival in London called Nashville Meets London, and it was so fun. So getting to come back after a few years and experience it all over again, and still see fans that I made that first time coming to the shows and being excited, and then making more was so awesome. So I'm excited. We just announced I'm going to be coming back over to C2C next year and bouncing around Europe again. So it's going to be really really cool, and I hope that the UK stuff is just as fun.
Yeah. And I see that you've been added to the lineup for C2C in Germany. And how excited are you for that? And what was your experience like in Germany?
Germany last year was super cool, and it was the first time I ever got to go there as well. So like it was a whole new world, new experience. But I was just grateful for the opportunity and grateful to like everyone's always like talks about my last name Schneider, and it's German. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I get to go to the homeland and like kind of see that. Everybody thought it was so cool that my name was Schneider when I was over there too. I loved that.
And when you travel in Europe and coming to like London or across in Germany, what's like the things that you most look forward to about coming across here?
Man, honestly, just getting to explore and like see all the cool stuff because there's so much history over here, and like we got to play golf over at St Andrews the other day in Scotland, and the wind was blowing. It was like 30 miles per hour and wind chill of 35 degrees or something. It was freezing, but just to like say that and like say I got to be there and experience it, it's amazing. Everybody's been on my Instagram, all my friends back home. They're like, "I'm so jealous of you, man! Like that's crazy." Because that's a dream as a golfer to play over there. So that was just something that was so cool. But yeah, all those little moments and memories you get to make traveling around and exploring with people.
Yeah, and I feel like you picked possibly the worst time to come to the UK because we've had a bit of a storm, so playing golf and that must
Yeah.
have been pretty hard for
Oh, dude. Yeah,
yourself.
with Storm Andy, is that what it is?
Yeah, storm Amy, it's been
Yeah.
horrendous.
Yeah, dude. It was so windy. Dublin, it was so windy. And yeah, when we hopped over to Scotland, it was crazy because we were right on the water up there on the North Sea. So it was just like all the balls were flying whichever which way. And when we were playing golf, that was just like the craziest day.
And one thing I would love to talk to you about is last year you released your debut album, Puzzled.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk a bit about that, how that project came about, and the reception that that received?
Yeah, man. So obviously, after being in Nashville for like, coming up almost on, I guess at that point, 9 years, I'd always wanted to do a full album. I'd done a bunch of EPs and singles, stuff like that, but finally getting to take time and craft an album with all the writers that I love to write with and have an idea kind of what it was centered around and everything. It felt like the right time finally. So yeah, it was just a fun process. I worked with Zach Abend as my producer, and then like I said, a lot of my best friends are writers on all the songs, and I was lucky enough to be a writer on all 16 songs as well, which I thought was kind of crucial at a certain point because I was like, man, I'm sharing my story and I want it to be the best that I can I guess get it across. And I think we did a good job. Everyone's really really liked the album. Had a couple of really big songs from me that came out during that time, and just looking forward to hopefully following it up and doing a new one. Man, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah. And one song in particular that's like been huge on all the streaming platforms and on like a viral hit is "Ain't Missing You."
Yeah,
Can we talk a bit where that song came from and the meaning behind that one?
yeah, dude. So that one's kind of older. Like we wrote it back in like 2022, and I think it was like the summer, and some people were unsure if they wanted to, put it out or if they liked it. And I remember it kind of sat on the shelf for a minute with the guys I wrote it with, and I always loved it. So I just decided one day to post a snippet of it on TikTok, and I didn't really tell anybody I was going to do it, but it ended up getting a lot of attention, and it kind of went viral for a minute and dropped that one. But yeah, we were writing, and I had the idea for a long time, and it was just kind of a different approach to like the breakup song, a different I guess point of view than typically you would think. So it was cool to kind of like write the song from like being the good guy, the hero in a breakup, and like making things better for somebody. But I was excited about it, and I'm still to this day thankful that that song did what it did.
Yeah, and you've been on our radar since 2017 with How Does It Sound? That was like a huge hit of yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like your music's developed a lot. And
Thank you, man.
like talking about that song because that's one of your biggest songs as well.
Yeah,
What was the thought process behind that one?
dude, that one. To be honest, I don't even remember like exactly where we were gonna go with it. I just had the title, and then we were kind of like, what if we just made it like this whole thing of like, what does it sound like? What's the background, the soundtrack to like you falling in love with somebody? Kind of describing all those settings. It's like, is it here? Is it there? What are we listening to? Are we out on the town? Are we like chilling? All that stuff. So it was just a cool, different approach too of that. I think of falling in love, and I wrote that obviously when I was way younger, and I wrote it with Jaron Johnson from the Cadillac Three and Corey Crowder, and they just are such good, talented number one, hit songwriters. Helped guide that idea and make it into what it became, and still, it's still like my biggest song that I got on the streaming platforms, and um, even singing it over here every night. Someone always knows it. So
Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah, you can hear the crowd singing it every single time.
and talking before that, you wrote like all 16 songs on the album, which
Mm-hmm.
is pretty much unheard of nowadays. Not many artists do that, and
Mm-hmm.
love to see that. But like your songwriting ability is amazing. Like
Thank
you
you,
were a
man.
co-writer on Mama's House with Dustin Lynn.
Yeah,
What was that
yeah.
experience like working with Dustin?
Dude, that was awesome, man. So I wrote that song actually with Rodney Clausen. It was my first time writing with him, and he's like a legend, in the business. Michael Lawton and then Justin Wilson. And Dustin heard it after we did it, and it was him and his producer Zach Crowell that wanted to record it, but they were like, "Oh, can you?" We actually wrote a couple different bridges for the song because they were like, "We don't know if we like the original one," so like we wrote like three more, and then I think they took two of them and put them together, and they ended up being Dustin's version. And then I finally got to put my version out on my album, and I put the original bridge that we did. So I thought that was a cool thing of like we each have our own version, and he did it so well, and he made it a hit song, and it's been like shoot 7 years, I guess 6 7 years coming that people wanted to hear my version put out and released, and not just the demo that everyone heard behind the scenes. And we finally got to do that on my new album too. So that was cool. And Dustin, like I got to see him play my hometown back in Indiana this past summer, and he gave me a shout out, and it was the coolest thing ever because you're in the crowd of all these people you grew up with, people and he's talking about how oh, this song was written about this town, and my boy Dylan Schneider did it, and it was so cool. I love him, man. He's a good dude, and we've become good friends over the past couple of years.
And mentioning that, and in your career as well, like moments like that. Is there a career highlight so far that like you that's pinpointed that like is your most favorite moment?
Man, there's so many cool ones. I mean, like selling out your first show as a headliner is amazing. I think one of my favorite ones because my whole family was there and I wasn't expecting it at all was when How Does It Sound went gold, and it was like the year before last at CMA Fest. I was playing the show, and I remember like all of a sudden someone came in my in ear or something like a talkback microphone, and they were saying something, and I thought maybe we went too long on our set, and they weren't going to let us play the last song. And I was like, oh man, we're not even going to play it. Then they brought up the plaque and presented it to me, and it was really emotional. It was cool, and it's something as an artist you work for to like see your songs surpass these milestones and become a gold record 500,000 copies sold in the states is like the coolest thing ever. So that was a dream come true. I think that's up there for sure. And then there's like you know the hit song you write or something like that. There's just so many, man. They're all so
Yeah.
special, but I do like that one a lot because I shared that memory with my family and they were all there, so it was really cool.
Well, it's October now. What's your plans for the rest of 2025? Can we expect any more music, any more tour dates, any like details for
Yeah,
2026?
I'm kind of winding down. I got a few more acoustic radio shows I'm doing back in the States. Uh, I don't think we're going to be releasing anything. If we do, maybe a single before the end of the year, but that's no promises. I'm just writing a lot right now. We've been teasing some new songs and seeing what people are liking and trying to stack up a new, little catalog of stuff that we're excited about. So hopefully we can put something out very early in 2026. But I think that it's going to be a big year, and I think that This year after last year has been a little bit more slow, or been a little bit slower, which was good, because like I was kind of ran down after Europe, Canada, all over the place back in 2024. So it was a nice little breather. But hopefully we can, get a bunch of good stuff ready to go and be ready when 2026 rolls around and just, knock it out of the park.
Oh well, we look forward to that. But before we leave, like I mentioned before, we've got a little game for you to play.
Yeah.
And this is like UK slang words or rhyme and copy here, something that we would use across here. And we just want to test your knowledge since you've been across a couple of times. So if I was to say to you, he's the bee's knees, what do you think that would mean?
He's the bee's knees. Like he's the best of the best. Like he's the big dog. He's great at everything he does.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's 1 out of 1 already.
All right.
So if I went to you and it's brass monkey outside, what do you think that would mean?
What was it?
Brass monkey.
It's I feel like it's either one of the two. It's freezing cold.
Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah, that's right. That's good. I was gonna say it could be hot or cold, but it felt like cold.
And if I turned around and said to you, he's off his rocker, what do you think that would mean?
He's out of his mind. He's insane.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
I know that one.
And have you ever heard the term cheeky Nando's before?
Cheeky Nando's. I think I have. I don't know what it means.
So we've got a chicken restaurant in the UK, Nando's. And normally if you turn around to somebody and say, do you fancy going for a cheeky Nando's? Like it's just a quick meal, like we'll go to Nando's.
Oh yeah, dude. We almost did that in Scotland the other day.
Right.
We were talking about, because we went to like 3 different restaurants and nothing was open. We were like, oh, they got the Nando's, so let's go over there.
So we went for a cheeky Nando's.
I know, dude.
And final one, because we're in Birmingham, and if I said to you the word Bob, what do you think Bob means?
Bob? Barb?
B-A-B.
Oh, B-A-B? Bob. Babe?
Like
yeah. Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
So I reckon if you use that one on stage,
you don't have to overthink that one at all.
If you use that on stage tonight or call somebody that, like the crowd will be in the palm of your hand.
It's Bob right over here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love that.
Thank you, Dylan, for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to see the show tonight.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you.